Kira, I'm serious, man. I'm serious. Serious. Told you. I'll try and make a bit more of a go of it while I got some time. So, Gusta, Clyde, how the devil are we all? Right, let's need to check YouTube's working. YouTube is working. Let's go. Corpium, how we doing? Gusta, over on YouTube, thank you guys. I could do with Botrix joining the chat. There it is, Botrix is joining the chat now. I see the chat correctly. Right, bit cold, chat. Bit cold. Oh, chat, have you all got your free Hogwarts Legacy on Epic? You might not want to play it now, but it's a fairly decent game, even if you don't like Harry Potter. Like it's open kind of map, like GTA style. So if you're bored one day, you might want to be a wizard, Harry. Corpium. I mean, you can do, but my character is super trash. Like, I haven't really played in a very long time. But I would be interested in doing some stuff. If you want to, like, you know, do a bit of a showcase, I can tag along and you know, do some things like that. That would be a good little stream if you wanted to do that. I definitely would be interested in that. What did you not get for 20 times last night, Gusta? Corpium DM'd me on Discord. I am so confused. Oh, you'll plan me something? Yeah, that'd be good, mate. If we could, that'd be really good. I've still got access to my account. I checked. I logged in on my phone the other day and stuff and things like that. So, have they updated for Christmas yet, or have they not? Right, we're gonna do these stats. We're going to do these stats because I kind of did like a half-hearted job last night. I was tired. So let's do the LMG stats that we've been doing all week. Get them finished. Make sure the sheet's right. Pritchard, how are you? New legendary outcast theme shotgun that shoots acid. Holy smokes. A high-end rig? I am not sure, to be honest, Clyde. It's been out a while. Aching, but okay, that's good. Is it free to pick it up, Copium, or you have to do a bunch of stuff to get it? I haven't really got anything, to be honest. I got like the toxic SMG, and that's probably about it. Right, so we're gonna go back to the first build and just check the stats. And yeah, that's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do. How did the rewards for watching you guys on Twitch work for the Division 2? I think they've finished. Didn't someone say drops have finished yesterday? Langmore, Unreal. Okay. The drops finished on Tuesday. There we go. 2 days ago. Sorry, buddy. Sorry, buddy, old pal. Oh, thank you, Fractit. There'll be new ones, I bet. They're doing like a stream on Tuesday announcing Christmas stuff, so there'll be some new stuff on from that stream to talk about, I guess. There's going to be like an event like the Halloween event, but Christmas themed. So you'll have some new stuff to grind, I guess. Right, MK46, Langmore, Glass Cannon, Walker Harris, Foxy's Contractors. Ah, okay. Foxy's. And then I must have put... I need to wake up, chat. What is wrong? It's been a long week, chat. Been a long week. I was up late last night doing something I'm not allowed to talk about. Like, I went fairly early from stream. It was like, what, 20 past 11? But I think it was like 2 o'clock before I got to bed. And then I was up at 6. Could do with a Red Bull. What were you doing? Playing golf, Britches? Or a vodka? That might send me other way. This is true, Gusta. I have been doing more streaming. But it's paying off. Like, being here on Twitch and then being live on YouTube and stuff. It's hard to tell with Twitch, but the YouTube algorithm is picking up like this. So, you know, we're getting more traction to the channel. You know, more subs, which means more views on videos, and you know, it's taking YouTube in a good direction, which is what we want, right? You know, that's what we want. It's what we want. So yeah, so the first part of the stream, we're gonna compare how many builds was it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 builds with LMGs to see if slotting in unit alloys anywhere is worth it. How did you know I've got a Nintendo t-shirt on? You can't see it on the camera. Yeah, exactly, Copium. Like, if you're consistent, YouTube rewards you. Like, you know, I can almost say like I'll pick up 20 to 50 subs a day if I'm consistent. Like, you know, and then when you're not consistent, you start picking up 5, 10, and then it goes lower and lower and lower. And so I'm trying to be consistent. It's all you see. Did I show it? I know I had it on earlier in the week. Right, so I'm going to check these stats because I think last time we did this. Right, okay. I need to check them because I think with some of them I had modifiers on, and I think with the other ones I had modifiers off. So this looks like modifiers were off, which is good. Gusta is a mod, isn't he? I know he's a... Oh no, he's a VIP on Twitch. I think he's a mod on YouTube and stuff though, right? Right, he's a mod. Okay, I made him a mod on YouTube. I can make. Do you want to be? I can make you a mod. Easy. It will remove your VIP badge, but always know you are. You know. You always know you are a VIP in my heart. Hello. You hate me now. Happy Friday to you too. Unless it gives you both badges. I'm not sure if it does give you both badges or not. I can't remember. I'm sure we've tested it with somebody before. I can't remember. Right. So, all weapon damage is correct. You can't double badge. Ah, that's a shame. That's a shame. I guess it removes him from the VIP list. Because I was wondering if you could have the option to switch between both, but still have your moderator powers. You know what I mean? A bit like the first badge. No, Cruising. No. We put a vote out in mod chat, and Q said no. Right, calculator. 151 plus 70. 221. Alright, so that's good. That's rude. Remind me to add you as a moderator in Discord. Because then you'll get the stuffs. Open my caches, are they full? Oh, I got 12. I'm terrible for stuff. Running unit alloys for mask and chest, piece of ninja backpack, strikers, holster, gloves. I've been killing it. Fracted, you know you're dropping about 18% damage running that backpack. Just so you're aware. I did the maths on it. You'd be much better off running strikers backpack. I know a lot of people get upset with me for saying that, but it's true. Headshot 85. DTA is 8, right? So this has got DTA. Yes. Damage to target out of cover. Yeah, I did a video on it. I think I called it something like the curse of the ninja bike or something last week. And man, I got some angry. I'm always very careful when I talk about it, because I don't want it to come across like I'm poo-pooing on people's builds, because I don't want to do that. Like, I want people to play and enjoy how they play, right? But I think the problem that we have is that some people say, some creators say certain things who have a really big following but don't give the full context, and they just might not have the full context. Like, they might just, you know, not do the maths. I mean, that's fine. Like, that's okay. But like, if you want, like, I like to give the full picture. You know what I mean? Like, I like to go, you know, it's great if that works for you, like, and you enjoy it, brilliant. Like, that's good. But just so you know, you could make it stronger. Like, you know what I mean? That's. I always have to be very careful around it, because people get angry that they think I'm poo-pooing the builds or other creators' builds or whatever. But I think sometimes they just miss some of the picture when they're doing the explanations, and I think it's important to, you know, especially if you come across a bit of content and you start struggling with it or getting frustrated with it, or you see somebody else who's killing things quicker or whatever. Like, I think it's just good so that people have the full picture. Like, getting the 50% extended mag on like an LMG on 3-piece unit is probably quite fun, you know, not you know, for sustained damage, but it's not going to help you in a tighter spot in an incursion where you need burst damage. You know what I mean? So it's you know, it's that kind of thing. Like, you know what I mean? Just understand understanding the situation a bit more. Like, you know what I mean? Zane. I don't know. I stay away from all content since he trashed me. I don't get involved. I just stay away. And you know, because rather than trashing me, I'd rather him just come and talk to me if he really had that big of an issue with me. Because I know what he's upset about. Like, I know the conversations that we've had in the past, and I know exactly what he's upset about. It has just been nicer to have an adult conversation months later, rather than get a public trashing, because the man's got a huge following. Like, you know what I mean? He does something right. He's got a massive following. But yeah, it's weird. But it's not necessarily him either. That's not what I'm saying. But it's the word meta. And I've thrown it around a lot recently on purpose, because in the video when I try and explain why I'm saying that word, is that meta word gets used for clicks, and that sometimes gets me frustrated when I see someone running a build, but then they're telling me they're struggling with content, and it's because they've picked one of these meta builds off YouTube, and then, you know, they've not got the full understanding, like, you know. Corpium, nice. Well, actually, yes. So Saint. So now that's a very good question, and I also did the maths in the video for that backpack for Memento. So Memento is weaker damage wise than Strikers. I think it's about 12% in a full Strikers build, if I remember right from last week. But Memento obviously does have its other perks. If you're running a shield, you'll get a tier 2 shield, because you've got a yellow and a blue stat on it. You get the armor regen, you get the bit of skill efficiency. So you know, you're trading off some damage there for some other perks, I guess you would say. So it depends if you're actually making use of them perks and they're useful to you, then, you know, then that's great. You know, it's worth running it. But you know, if you want all damage, then just run the Ninja Bite backpack, you know. So, but you could you could run, you know, the Tinkerer mask and put preservation on one of your guns, and you'll do more damage. Like, so you know what I mean? There's other ways round it in the game that are better, like, you know. But then that depends on what gun you're using, like, you know, and things like that. Hello, Glorious. How you doing, man? Yes, exactly, Clyde. Yeah. And that's why I try and get across as well. So like now I'm doing this spreadsheet here with all these builds. And what I really want to get across is these are the most damage you can get out of these builds, right? And are they all squishy? They're all red. They're all red builds. Now I always run all red builds in heroic, because to me, the quicker I kill, these better survivability. I've got a hive, it's fine. And I often still even take an all red build into a legendary, because it's just the way I play. I've always played like that. But I fully understand that people like to roll in some blues and have some survivability. But they can make a good choice, I feel, then, from my data. Because they can go, right, that's the max damage. All I have to do then is roll blues in until you feel comfortable. but you know you're starting off at the peak of max damage, and you just tone it down a little bit until you find your, you know, your comfort spot, like, you know. Yeah, exactly, Q. Yeah, exactly. I'm in serious danger of becoming an actual streamer again. I said this yesterday. I'm going to try and be an actual streamer again. I hate being a healer, Pritchard, so I love people like you. Yes, so that's always the trade-off. So although Strikers is our top tier DPS, if you're using it in, there is a point, depending on what the difficulty is you're playing in, where Striker's Chest is not useful at all. I would argue Striker's Chest isn't worth it even in Heroic, because we kill things that quick. If you are never getting the stacks over 40-50%, you're better wearing Obliterate, Glass Cannon, like anything else, because you're just wasting a whole lot of damage. And the time it takes you to stack up even to that 30-40%, you might as well have stacked Obliterate. You might as well have just used Glass Cannon, like, you know what I mean? Yes, dies, exactly. So that's why when I do this stuff, and like you can see I've got Glass Cannon here, well, you know, maybe use Obliterate instead of Glass Cannon, you know, and you'll drop a little bit, but whatever, like, you know. And we always just go for the max stacks, and then people got to build in what they like, you know. Yes. Well, that's it as well. So when we show the max damage in a spreadsheet, that's peak max damage. That's killer activated. That's you know, Strikers at max stacks. Like, you know what I mean? That's when you're at the very top of your game. That's not 100% of the time. So, you know, there's the definite peaks and troughs on how you've got to understand it, you know. Ongoing directive is very good. It's underrated and very good. Massively underrated. Massively underrated. So Turmoil's a different ball game, because it splits damage. But if you're killing enemies in Heroic with it successfully and not getting overwhelmed, then there can be, you know, a nice addition. But I mean, I don't want to lose this because I'm just doing that. But that build now that you're looking at there, that is probably your best day-to-day go-to build right there. I would advise everybody to have that build in their toolbox. Like, whether you use the Pestilence or the Lexington, or, you know, or whatever gun you use with it, that's fine. But that is one build that I suggest everybody has. It's fixed, Q. It's fixed. You know, and if you've not got the new chest, that doesn't matter. You could have a Cheska chest with Obliterate. There's about 2.5% difference. There's not a lot. But that's exactly, like, you know, one of the best builds in the game right now. And then it's a really easy switch as well. Like, if you wanted to take that into Legendary, you could change the chest piece to Striker's Chest, and then put the new unit Alloy's holster on, and then take it into Legendary with an LMG, with the Pestilence, or with the blue screen, and all of a sudden you're doing even more damage. You know what I mean? And you've got no problem for stacks. And then that's two builds right there. That is your two DPS builds that essentially, really, if you're running ARs and LMGs, you probably don't need another build. Now, there's no fun in that, but that is literally the long and short of it.
Evening.
Good evening, sir. But yeah, definitely check out the last few videos I did. They've got all the stats and I explained them a bit better. And you know, that's really the long and short of it. And then that then comes, and I have the same problem that when I make a video, I'm just making a video going, look, this build is fun and this is how much damage it does. But we're just migrating from, you know, what is definitely the best in the game to try and make fun, you know, and I think sometimes that gets it gets stretched a little bit. And, you know, and when you start getting builds that are 40-50% less damage than what the meta damage is, that is what lies the problem. And especially if one of them builds goes viral and everybody starts to run it, it's, you know, it starts getting, you know, a lot of people are complaining that this season's modifiers are pretty hard to deal with. And I agree. I absolutely agree that the enemy modifiers are too harsh. Like, I put that in my feedback to say, listen, these need to be changed. But I don't struggle with them with my builds, and I see a lot of people struggling with them because of the build they're running with them. Like, you know, and it's because they're running a build that's, you know, 50% less damage than what they could be running, you know. So turmoils are brilliant when it comes to easier content. Like, they're really good. Like, if you're running Lincoln Memorial on challenging with turmoils on, you will fly through it. Like, you'll feel like you literally will see half the enemies. Like, turmoils can be very, very good. One-shot sniper builds, they can be really good as well. Yeah, like you said, a one-shot turmoil with like a headhunter build with turmoils, they can be brilliant. Like, really brilliant. But anyway, we digress. Right, this build is correct. We have done build 1 of 8. Lav says, how's it going, Tickle? It's going well, mate. How are you? And Vault Hunter, Mr. Borderlands, I assume. Welcome on in, buddy. Thank you for the follow. Right, so that was build 1. We did that right. All the stats match up. Next, we did Langmore Glass Cannon. So that's the same as this Unstoppable Force. Walker Harris. Contractors. No, we did not do that. Because we did Salvo. We did Salvo. Contractors. We could not have had a Walker Harris piece. Oh, hang on. We did have a Walker Harris piece. Because that means we dropped. We dropped the knees. I'm not sure I believe that. Did we really drop the knees? Instead of over Foxes? I'm very surprised we did that. Surely Foxes with 3 is better.
Chat, do we believe that Tickle drops to his knees?
Hey,
yes, we do.
Depends who's asking.
Wow.
Right, check. I'm going to just check this real quick. 447-315. That's right. Total from the Unstoppable Force. Critical hit damage is 151 plus 70. That's the same. Headshot's the same. Then we had damage to armor. We did take out Foxes. We did. Absolutely, Borderlands. $20 is $20. What do you mean, mate? Did I miss something? Perhaps 20. Oh, hang on. I get it. Yes. I get it. Just give me a minute. It's end of week. Detox down. Then we'll have faster RPMs now. We'll have 935. This does more damage than... This does 2.6% more damage than the other build. But I don't believe it's doing the best. I don't, unless we did we do it? So we did Lengmore, Glass Cannon, Salvo, Petrov, Overdogs. I don't believe this is the best. Let me just take a very quick screenshot of this. I'm going to just do a very quick change, chat. I think you've let me trip here, chat. You've let me trip. I think Foxes and Lengmore here. I think that's got to do more damage. I think you've let me trip there, chat. I do this with you live, so you don't let me trip. I reckon you let me trip. Were you asleep?
You're the one with the spreadsheet.
Alright, let me just jam this in now and check. So we still have that critical hit damage is less, I think. It is less. Maybe hang on, chat. Maybe we did test this. 139 plus 70 because it's less than 2.09. Headshot 85. DTA still 8. Back to 0.2 detox because we've added Foxes. Glass Cannon, no secondary amp, 59.5. 935 RPM.
Hey.
Hello, sir.
If only someone had a spreadsheet open where you could quickly input those things and clear the question if 3 Lengmo and
I know, right?
Yeah,
I have the spreadsheet. Yes, I have improved the build by 3%.
Hooray to 3%.
3% more, chat. I knew what went on there? Why would I ever think keeping a Walker Harrison was going to make that any better?
Are you seriously asking why you would do something stupid?
We are silly gooses, chat. Foxes.
You know things are bad when you force Q to actually come into voice chat and talk to you.
Yes.
Because he never does that.
Yes. We improved the build by around 3%. Note to self, chat knows best. Chat didn't pull me on that. It doesn't matter. It's kind of irrelevant anyway, because we know the minute we start putting overdogs in the builds, we win. And then we still know overdogs in the builds at the moment, so... Right, so this is good now. So we're up 3%. So now we're going to buff the build by 20%. That's the next one. That's the next one. So this one was MK46 with Killer, Lengmore, Glass Cannon, Unstoppable Force, Salvo, that's right. But then it was Overdogs. With Petrov. That was it. This was the one where we found out that this did the Petrov did more damage than Foxes. Did it? We're gonna have to see. This is why we should never stop halfway through. Would Petrov do more damage than Foxes? I'm not so sure anymore. Right, I'm gonna check the stats. We're just gonna have to try it. We're just gonna have to do it. We're just gonna have to do it. If you weren't here 2 days ago, at least you're getting a full rundown. All right, you're getting a full rundown. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking 10% LMG damage here is a lot, and we get an extra stat here. I'm thinking that maybe outdo those. I don't know. I'm going to stat it. We'll still stat it. We'll use the spreadsheet. Right, let's just check this now. Right, so let's check this out. 4-4. Right, so that's right. We still are running Unstoppable Force on the backpack. That's right. Critical hit damage is higher on this one. So 163 plus 70 is 233. That's right. So this is all right. 85 headshot. Damage to target out of cover is back down now, isn't it? Yep. Then we have 25 amp for glass cannon. That's right. We have 30 amp for overdogs, 59.5 there. And then our RPMs is 935. That is correct. Okay, so that is correct. And that bumps our damage now by a further 20%. Further 20%. So I'm going to take a very quick screenshot of this. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to literally swap this piece for foxes. And very quickly make the changes. Because that then puts our damage down here. Because we lose 10%, 1.6, that should be right. Yeah, we lose 10% there. But then that's the same. Critical hit damage is, was it 151? Was that the same? No, it's different. It's 151 plus 70 equals 221.
Lets us see the spreadsheets if we donate enough money.
Oh, sorry. I need to set up a scene where you can see both. To be honest. I'll bring it over in a second so you can see it again. Headshot is 85. DTA is 0, but we're back at 0.2 here. Right, so if I bring this in now, 25 amp, that's fine. Overdogs is fine. So 125.90. Oh, we're better off. We're only just 1.05% in it. 1.05%. Now, this is one of them situations, though, where you could potentially say that running the Petrov knees is better. And the reason I say that is by running foxes, it's damage to target out of cover. So if the target's not out of cover, we're not doing that extra damage.
Which,
really
in fact, with LMGs is quite probable.
Yes. Dognote says, perfect glass cannon, overdogs, foxes, 3-piece Langmore will do more damage. Yes, I think I come to that. Further down.
Did you really bust out the qualifier on damage to targets out of cover?
What do you mean, sorry?
Telling people that the target has to be out of cover.
Yeah, of course, yeah, but to make an example that in this scenario, yeah, that's gonna be better. Or maybe do. That's the. Oh, that's not the next one. Tinkerer. Overdogs, Coco, Strikers, Equalizer. Overdogs, Foxes, 3-piece Langmore. Maybe that's the build we should be doing though. Perfect glass cannon. Maybe that's the build we should be doing here. Maybe that's the build we should be doing. Right, I'm going to screenshot this then. I'm going to screenshot this. Because I don't really want to add another high-end build to the list. I don't, because otherwise I could be going on forever. But if I run perfect glass cannon, overdogs, foxes, 3 Langmore. But then, are we back in? Did we test that scenario? Does foxes outdo switching these 2 round? Does foxes outdo salvo? Did we do? I think we did that math. Let me jam this in, and then we can test it.
Can you stop jamming stuff into places?
I can't remember. I can't remember if we did that math. I think we did. Right, that's the same. That's the same. That's the same. That's the same. Perfect. So then critical hit damage is 151 plus 70 still. So that's the same. Headshot damage is higher now because we have the Petrov on. DTA is still 0. Damage to target out of cover is still 20. And then we PG perfect glass cannon's 35, right? Oh, 30, sorry. 0.3. Then another 0.3 for that. That's correct. And 59. Are we on 59 point? Oh, hang on. Maybe we're wrong here. Crit damage. Crit damage. Crit damage. Am I over cap?
On what? On chance?
I am over cap. So that's wrong. It's actually 163 plus 70. So 2.33. Headshot 0.98. And then our RPMs is 850. Don't forget that. That does less damage. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Never mind. Never mind. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. It's slightly more. Slightly. It's like another 2% on top of what we just had.
That's not slight.
So then let me take a screenshot of this. Then. Because I just want to check out if switching that to a Langmore and this to the new holster, do we gain any further DPS? Fairly easy swap. Right, so this is correct. That's correct. That's correct. That's correct. That's correct. Critical hit damage is 163. That should be the same. Yep, that is the same. 163 plus 70. That's the same. Damage to targets out of cover is now less. So that's what changes. 0.12. 30 amp. 30 amp. That's correct. Then we get the RPM boost because that goes back to 935. 935, 935, and we've got a winner. Sup, Flaming Hawk? We've got a winner. 4, 5 by nearly 3% more.
Do you even spreadsheet? You missed the 3%.
But this is our new high-end winner.
Is that Providence? What?
Yeah, perfect glass cannon.
What?
Perfect glass cannon. Yep, yep. perfect glass cannon. Are you going to watch the Exeter match tomorrow? I'm going. Right, so that's it. Dog nuts, are you in agreement with this, by the way? Whizbits, thank you for the follow, buddy. MK46. So we are Lengmore. Unstoppable Force. Perfect Glass Cannon. Salvo. Overdog. Yeah. Just shy, about a 2.8% increase. So then that's her typical best non-tinkerer / non-gear set build at this point. We're not getting any higher damage than this. And chat, aside from obviously the slight build of Unstoppable Force, this is your biggest instant damage build. Like, you shoot and you've got a lot of damage right off the rip. So if you wanted to go high end, perhaps challenging, you know, kind of build, this will do very, very well. And it will feel very, very good as well. It'll feel comfortable. And it's not terrible to build. It's not terrible to build. And then if you didn't want to run perfect glass cannon, I would say potentially you would just put in the equalizer and then put Fox's back and then put your 3-piece Lengmo in the holster. That's going to be a non-glass cannon variant of it. If you didn't want to do that. And you're still going to get, you know, pretty good damage, like pretty good damage at that point. If you didn't want to, because I know a lot of people go like, I don't want to run perfect glass cannon. Right, so that works out. That's really nice and works really well as far as showing people how high-end builds work with new unit alloys. So then now we will bring in this was the bigger mag, right? So we put Frenzy on this one. And this is where LMG builds go crazy. So let's just take that off for now, because this is where Tinkerer comes and says hello and changes the game completely. I'm actually going to take a build out here. Yeah, in fact, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take a build out here, because I did the example of what we just did, and I don't need to do that. I don't need to do that. I would rather do the DPS on this build so I can give a good high-end alternative to people that don't want to run perfect glass cannon. I think that will be more useful to people. This. Yeah, exactly, dog nuts. I feel like Tinkerer is kind of the only exception because of literally because of Frenzy, essentially. Frenzy causes a lot of problems, but you're exactly right. I know a lot of people like that playstyle of having to run the mag to 0 to get the damage. So it's a playstyle choice. Yay, Fracted. See, I'm glad we helped. I'm glad we helped. What we try and do. That's what we try and do. Nice one, man. What we like. It's what we like to hear, chat. What we like to hear. Right. I'm gonna math this one. This is more useful to math than the one that I was gonna math. So this is MK46 Lengmore. Unstoppable Force. The Equalizer. Because Equalizer is very close to Perfect Glass Cannon Chest. No Salvo. No Tinkerer. Overdogs. Exactly, Fractus. Exactly that. You'll do more damage with that magazine than you would by extending it. So yeah, exactly that. That's the perfect way of thinking about it. Foxes. Right, let's see how this maths out. This is going to be interesting how this one maths out, actually, because we're taking way less risks with this. So yeah, this is actually pretty interesting. Right, so this should be down at 1.6. Yep, perfect. So we get the 35% from the backpack. That is right. Total crit damage is 163 plus 70, which is 233. So that's back up. Headshot is 85. That's right. Damage to armor. We don't have any damage to armor, do we? We don't. That is back at 0. Damage to target out of cover is back up to 0.2. Then we have... Then the only amp we have now is the Overdogs, because we've got this, but we've not put this in 24%. So we've not put that in. So 34 plus 24 is 58. So that's 58. Oh yeah, don't worry about it, Practice. We got you. Detox as was 2. That's right. 1 amp. 59.5 crit chance. Perfect. Where does this play out in all of that? That plays out that I've done something wrong. That plays out that I have definitely done something wrong. Because there is no way that beats out Glass Cannon. Oh, RPMs. RPM is 892. 892. 892. 892. Yes, this is perfect. All right, so this is interesting right here, chat. This is very interesting right here. Am I allowed to talk about that, Mr. Dognuts? Where did you get that? Let me just log in, because if I can talk about it, I will share it. Let me just check my embargo date. Maybe I could have shared it after. Let me check. Let me check. 12th of December at 6 p.m. Oh yeah, I can talk about it. I can talk about it. Right, let me get... Where are the assets? Access the assets. Oh, I should have made a post about this. What a doofus. Let me just download it all. Select all. And click download. Where's download at? Download. Chat, I got something to show you. Got something to show you that I should have probably posted on my socials.
Yeah, you probably should have.
Yeah.
What?
Because everybody else has probably posted them already. So, chat, as of... can I see thumbnails, please? Alright. This one. Starting on the 16th of December. Yeah, boy has got Twitch drops again. We were just talking about things earlier on. I was like, yeah, maybe we'll have Twitch drops. But yeah, we have got Twitch drops. We have got Twitch drops. So you can see here the 2 backpack trophies and a Christmas based skin, which is very, very nice. Very, very nice. Very, very good.
Really, really nice.
Really, really nice. Strangely enough, they are 10 days ending on a Friday. That is strange. That is strange. So yeah, probably should have posted that. Probably should have posted that. I mean, Mr. Dognuts, I don't know. I mean, you might not know because it might not be, but I guess I'll ask: is the Krampus uniform or costume in the files anywhere? Hi, Tosh. Bom, 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 bom. Let's just very quickly post that before we crack on. I made the necessary stuff. Oh, okay, okay. So maybe that is going to make a comeback on Tuesday. So yeah, you won't miss it now. You got a heads up practice. Right, awesome. Right, so yeah, so where we got to was, so taking out glass cannon and switching things around drops us from 127% to 115. So we lose 12% damage, but you don't have to suffer glass cannon. Oh, very interesting, Mr. Dognuts. So the safer way to run is this. This is the safer way to run. So that's Langmore, Unstoppable Force, Equalizer, Overdogs, Foxes. Perfect. So then now we move on to doing even bigger damage with the Tinkerer, but then this becomes a play style. So it's Perfect Glass Cannon. Wherever it's gone. Tinkerer. Unstoppable Force, Perfect Glass Cannon, Tinkerer, Frenzy, Killer. Ah, okay. I didn't note this down. But I guess it's going to be... It's got to be Contractor's Gloves, alright, hasn't it? And 3... From what we've just learnt anyway, that's going to be the winning combo, the wombo combo. That's got to be the winning wombo combo. So we get, alright, D4. What's up, Mena? So now critical hit damage is going to be 163 plus 70. which is 233, which reads out correct. We also get a 45% damage boost from Frenzy as well. Because we get 3% rate, we get 3% weapon damage for every 10 bullets. So 3% times 15 is 45. So if I take, so I'll double check this number here. So if I take 215 and take away 45, that leaves me with 170. So 170 should read out at 144,900. It does. So we know we're right there. So that's perfect. Our crit damage is perfect. Our headshot is 98%. It is. Damage to armor is 8%. It is. Damage target out of cover is 12% because of the gun. Correct. And then we have 30% amp for perfect glass cannon, which is correct. We have no other amps. We have 59.5. That's correct. And then the RPM for this is 1233 when we get a perfect stack of Frenzy on top. So is that definitely right? Is that definitely right, that RPM? So 850 plus 45% that we get from Frenzy.
Evening, goat.
Hello, Dan.
Oh, God.
So 45% of it is 383. 383. So we're talking 850 plus 383. The sum of that is 1233. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So there we go, chat. So that's our biggest damage build so far, boosting our damage by nearly 67% as long as you use Frenzy correctly. So we become a playstyle then with Frenzy where you have to make sure you empty the magazine every time you shoot it, and you never self-reload. But in using that, you'll buff your damage. And spoiler alert, this is the most damage you will do. Like, probably one of the biggest damaging builds in the game, if not the biggest damaging burst build in the game, to be honest. When we're talking
Bigger than
burst.
strikers?
More than strikers, yes. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. Spoiler for later, but yes. But a very, very, very specific play style. It only beats out
first chat.
It only beats strikers by 4%, but it's harder to use than strikers. You know what I mean? Just because you have to empty the mag, so it depends like if that 4% is worth it to you. But yes, it does beat out strikers, but you are required to play in that certain way. You see? But like Dognut said before, that makes it extremely balanced, right? Because you're taking that little bit of awkwardness of having to use Frenzy and getting that extra bit of damage. Whereas if you just play strike time, right? So it's actually very, very well, very, very well balanced. Now the balancing of Tinkerer is questionable, but yeah, it is very, very well balanced. All right, cool. 4 builds left to do. So next was tipping scales, which these become very, very easy to slide in, right? Because all your gear sets at this point, the chest pieces on tipping scales, strikers is different, but tipping scales, core, we're not going to use the chest pieces. So they're almost like for like swap outs. And then Overdogs is going to come in, and that essentially that's how quick you can swap them out. We just need to change a crit. We need to put a crit chance mod in. And there we go. Puts us at 59.5127. And all of a sudden, we are at BIS for tipping scales. 140,700. That's fine. We have no total weapon damage being added here because it adds critical hit damage to the build. And that's where we need to do the big math calculation now for this. Because it adds a lot of critical hit damage here. 7 to start. But then it adds 7 stacks 50 times. So 50 times by 7 is 350 critical hit damage is getting added. And we get the weapon handling, which is nice. So 350 plus 127. That turns out to be 477. But then we also get the use of killer. So 477 plus a further 70 is 547. Now, if I was to be fair here, we have to use killer because we've used killer in all of our other examples because it's one of the best gun talents we could use. But it would probably be a better idea not to use killer here because you've got so much critical hit damage being added already. You're getting negative returns essentially. You're not getting as much critical hit damage for your money. You would be better using the, you know, maybe frenzy, something that adds weapon damage as a talent, streamline, you know, or something like that rather than killer essentially. But we have to use it to be fair. Headshot is 0.98. That is correct. We have no DTA in here. 12 DTOC is correct. The first sacrifice is, oh, we made a mistake, is 0.3. And then overdogs is 0.3. 59 crit chance. And then that brings us to 0.9% less than the previous build. 0.9% less. So that kind of tells you running the all high build is definitely going to output you more damage quicker. Because we know tipping scales has a stack that we have to build up. Yo, Tickle, can't you ask the devs if we who only got 4 extractions doing survival assist? So I already know the answer to this. Chat, I put it. You should all join my Discord because I put all the information in my Discord. All the inside info that I get, I put it in my Discord as soon as I get it, and I tend to tag everybody and be a little bit annoying. But I know the answer to this. So they're taking a snapshot of your progress as of yesterday when they called it, and that's where you'll resume from in January. So if you did 4 this time, in January when it starts up again, you'll only have to do 1. You don't have to call me sweet Jesus, but yes, your wish is granted, my son.
Unless your username is Pelizor, you specifically will have to start at 0.
Yeah, they made a special note in the notes that if you called Pelizor, you have to start again, unfortunately.
Yeah, Tickle called them up and said, that guy Pelazor is not in my Discord, so make him start over.
Make him start again. Yes, I did. Yeah. I'm becoming religious. All right, so that was easy. That was easy. So now we are going to
Tickle is easy? Yeah, that's true.
Whoa. Hang on, I just need to check something really quick. Where's my other spreadsheet? Right, okay, so I'm gonna change what we're gonna do here. I kept perfect glass cannon on, but we shouldn't keep perfect glass cannon on. Or should we?
Don't ask me. I don't think you should ever run glass cannon, but that's my.
So-
it's 2025. You do what you feel like.
We're changing to strikers here. So, because we're comparing gear sets... I'm gonna keep the perfect glass cannon on, because we know that running striker's chest will significantly up the damage over glass cannon by roughly 10 to 15%. So we can compare the gear sets like for like, knowing in the back of our mind if we switch to a striker's chest, we would get a, you know, if we're doing the difficult content like Legendary Master, we could give ourselves a 10 to 15% extra boost in damage. So that's what we'll do. That makes comparing just a bit easier for the old eyes. Did he gonna alert? Got some chores to do. Thank you so much, mate. I appreciate it. Okay, so are you need to do 5 for all of the loot, yes, but any you've done so far will continue to count when they start it back up again in January. Where do you suggest attachments on the weapons, say for the Honey Badger or Caretaker, both running killer? You would generally, in most case scenarios, put all crit chance mods on your guns.
That being said, there is an argument to be made to put accuracy on the Caretaker specifically.
Yeah. Unless the gun's really wild and you need to, use an accuracy mod or something like that. But you've always going to put crit chance on, because you'll get 10% crit damage mods on the guns, while we get 12% in mods. So you get better value from mods. So unless for some reason overcapping on crit chance massively, which I find that will be a very rare occasion if that's going to happen, if at all, you're always better to put crit chance mods on your guns and then leave all the crit damage for everywhere else in the build. Right, so this is spec'd out now. This is perfect. And this is exactly what we're going to run with. So, yep. So we are at this. So 125580 is correct. Caught slumped. People still play this game? Absolutely. This game has got more traction recently than in a very long time. It's got a lot of stuff coming to it all of a sudden. So we've got 197 crit chance, 98 headshot. We're back at 12 detox. We've got no DTA. We've got 90 on the strikers. We've got overdogs. We're at 59.5, which is correct. That's good. I have just noticed something that is potentially wrong on the previous one. Hang on. Let me finish this one. Remind me to go back to the tipping scales for a second after this, please. Right, so we're at 978 RPM. I don't think I changed the RPM. Okay, that's great. So that's fine now. But then if we just very quickly swap back to tipping scales, I don't believe that there is no RPM increase. So tipping scales as well has an advantage in the fact that it will give us extra magazine size as well. So you get more sustain out of it. But the RPM should be 850 on that. Okay. 850. 850. All right, so just to give you a little bit of a good ballpark here. So you can see tipping scales comes in around 11% less than strikers, but then comes in significantly less than running the Tinkerer. 44, 54, 64, 22% less than the Tinkerer. Whereas strikers closes that gap by being easier to play by around 11%. So again, very balanced in the fact that we can squeeze extra damage out of these builds by not running strikers, but you have to run a certain play style. And we know we can probably take this up to yeah, maybe we need to. I haven't got room to do that though. I might have to do that live in the video. I might have to take the strikers build. I might have to swap it to strikers chest just to see how it plays out against the Tinkerer build. Because I think
Vigilance backpack.
Say again, sorry.
With Vigilance backpack?
It would be strikers chest. No, we put foxes in, wouldn't we? Foxes is our next piece that would do us the most damage.
I think, didn't you prove that
Oh yeah, two Providence played out well.
Yeah, especially that Vigilance on the backpack is topping nearly everything with Striker Chest. And then you started your whole shtick with Unstoppable Force.
Yeah. I feel like I probably need to math that. That makes it a bit sticky.
Don't thank us, that's why we're here.
I feel like we probably need to math that. Because it's kind of the one situation where...
But you basically should have a row with
Sharky, thank you.
Ready, right? You just need to swap in the LMG and you're done on the AR comparison sheet.
Yeah, I could do. Or I just make a new row on here. And add it in. But let's make it. I wonder how easy that is. I don't remember how easy it was to make a new row.
Just ask a random IT guy.
Right, let's just so we've just done this one here, haven't we? So let's just do it on here, see if it works out. 0.15, 0.15. That's right. Change that to 0, 1.97, 0.98, no DTA, 1290, 350. Oh, hang on, I know what's not going to work. I haven't got any crit chance or crit thingy remains that I do over here. Okay. Give me one sec, chat. Did that just instantly work? Z. Yep. Yep. Body crit. There's no way that just worked. That's not working. Nothing changed. Oh, something is changing. 50. 60. No, nothing's changing. I knew nothing that didn't work. M35 divided by 100. So this one should be M39. M39 divided by 100. So that's right now. Then that should be M39. That's correct now. As long as we put the decimal place correct. So that's, oops, too far. That's correct now. So if I put 59.5 and we'll move the decimal place out 1. Make sure that's got a place out 1 as well, because they often come to 59.5. So then the question is, if I change this now, then figures change. Right, okay, so 59.5. Does this read out exactly the same as the one we've just done? It does not. Because that was the strikers, right? Yes. So that should read at 451. This doesn't read at 451. And it should do. So L I 26, 26, 26, 26, 26, 26, 26. That's all 30s. That's all 38, so that's right. FI E38, E34, E38. So why does that read different than the one above? Oh, hang on. Bear with me 1 second. So this was the one which was the one we were copying? Strikers. 978. 978. 978. And then we need to just check this very quickly. P35. P39. P35 times 0.4 times P36. P39. That's wrong. So that's P35 because it's in the 35 column. That should be P39. That's correct. And then that's P36. It's the one underneath. That should be P40. That's correct. Something's not mathing though.
Math's not mathing.
Math's not mathing. Damage is low. Have I missed something off? So that's correct up to that point. That's correct. That's the same. 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 But then that's not the same. Don't want to spend too much time doing this. Let me just compare it line for line. So E34 times 1 F34 plus 1 times I30. Ah, okay, I think I found the problem. Oh no, I've not. J38, K38 times plus 1 L38 plus 1 M34. I don't understand. The problem is I don't understand why that is not. That should be giving the same result as this. That should be giving the same result as this.
Did you break IKEA's spreadsheet?
No, this is not IKEA's.
Oh, there you see where the problem lies.
That should be the same as this. And for some reason, it's not. I'll compare it to the one above. 48,300, 131515. So these numbers are right. So it works here. 0.24, 1.97, 0.85. I can't remember when I added the other 4 lines into this. I can't remember what I did. Oh, hang on. Why is it working now? Hello, Tidy. That's working. That's exactly the same as the numbers above. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. That's the same, that's the same, that's the same, that's the same. Am I tripping here? Did I put the wrong figures in?
You're always tripping.
So, perfect glass cannon strikers. 1.3. 0. 1.97. 0.98. No DTA. 12. 0.90. 0.3. 59 point. Something's wrong. It gives me different numbers when I do the strikers.
I mean, I don't know about sheets, but in the where the calculation is made, it should show you the which boxes it's manipulating in which way, using in the calculation in which way, and it should do the same thing in both, right?
Yeah, it is. I can see that it's using DTA, DTOC, amp 3 plus the base. So that's correct. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 entries. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And where is the 7th entry? So we've got E38. This is this one. Then we've got F38. That's correct. Then we've got I38. That's correct. Then we've got J38. That's correct. Then we've got K38. That's correct. Then we've got L38. That's correct. And then we've got M38. But maybe I've found the issue. Maybe I've found the issue.
Is the issue a PEBCAC error?
And which lines are you comparing? The last one and the
last one. So the last one and the strikers one that we just did.
Which is the one just above?
No, the one. So when I fill it in the same as the ones above, it matches up. But when I put this strikers one in, it doesn't match up, and I don't know why. So they're the same now, and the body non-crit here is 451, but for some reason here it comes up as 437. So all of them plus total weapon damage and that's correct. Them two and all of them. The calculation is literally the same.
And you did put in the numbers right.
Yeah.
Because this sounds like I don't know, forgetting to switch on an amp where it should be, or to.
Yeah, it feels like it's treating one of these columns weird. I think like one of the one of the numbers isn't there's something's not giving it enough damage. Sub crazy. Something's not giving it enough damage in the calculation. Right, so if I go to if I use this very top one here, right, and I snip this. Well, I'll tell you what I could do. I could just copy this cell and paste it here. Paste format. And it's done exactly the same. It's pasted the format and come up with the same result. If I copy this one and paste format. The problem's not with the calculation, I don't think. The problem's got to be with how it's taking the format. Yeah, good. We just tried to work out some of the new damage values from the new gear. I'm having a quick problem with my spreadsheet.
And it's a new row you put in.
It's a brand new one, this, yeah.
So is there any cell where a calculation is maybe happening that doesn't get displayed? Like, I don't know, like I7 is only to be taken at 80% or something like that.
No, not
something that was there before.
If I change this, so the DPS does change, but it doesn't. That's fine because it doesn't affect these numbers. I wonder if where do you change the formatting in here? Format number. So that's not done anything.
Oh.
So
The cell formatting, you mean?
yeah, I thought it was might be treating them as text and having a weird issue with it, but that's not done anything either. Let me just make a copy. Just want to try something pretty radical for a second, real quick. Right, so this top one here. I'm just gonna copy into here. 1.75, not 15. That's the same. That's the same. 21, 0.85. 0.98, 0.2, 0.25, 0. Alright, so that's working. I was panicking then thinking that the cells were acting differently because I had 4 at the top and I added 4, but that's the 5th cell and that's working the same. I can discard that one, so that's not my problem. The sheet is acting right. It's just my new row's acting weird for some reason. Why is my new row acting so weird? Why is my new...
Because you made it.
Well, I added all these bottom 4, no problem. But then I don't understand what's different. Why did the row above and the row above numbers fit in? Why is it just this strikers one that doesn't fit in? That is what's weird. The road to madness, you are not wrong, mate. In fact, I'm going to make one more copy again, just to test one more thing. So this is the one here that we're doing. 1.30, 0.5, 0.5, they're the same. 0.97, 0.98, 0.2, 0.90, 0.3, 0.30. Yeah, see, look, that runs, even that one's out the same. So if I do the same again, 0.5, that's all, that's the same. 0, 1.97, 0.98, 1.2933, 59.5. Hang on. 978, 978, 978, 978, 978. Ah, there we go. There's something wrong with the bottom field. There's something wrong with the bottom field.
I mean, worst case, you could just add another sheet like you can do in Microsoft Excel anyway. You just duplicate the one you have and you make one with gear sets and one with high ends. And
yeah.
then just compare the windows.
Yeah, no, I think so. Once I know, I think I figured out. Oh, I think I figured out what's wrong. I just need to figure out how to fix it quick. Five. Smash the keyboard in anger and try again. I put this video off for so long. I can't. That's all not 15s. That's all not 15s. So they're all the same now. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. That one's being treated slightly different, but we'll leave it like that for now.
I'm going to head off a little early so I can go watch some TV.
Okay, mate. See you later, pal. Thanks for hanging out.
Have a good night, everyone.
See you, mate. 0.85. So we'll put this the same down all of these. That's the same. That's the same. That's the same. That's the same. That's now the same down all of them. I think my bottom row is messed up, and that's what's caused my problem. I've copied a row that is messed up. Better to spot it now, chat.
I mean, imagine you had left that in the video. The amount of responses that you would have gotten.
Yeah, exactly.
Comments.
Exactly. 59.5 all the way down. Right, so 238, 238, 238, 238, 238, 238, 238, 238, 238. Right, so they all say 238. So I've technically just fixed the problem somehow. So there is one of the cells I've got blanked out is causing me a problem. So I've cleared out. Let's put some amp in here. 0.30. So that still runs the same all the way down. Let's put some more amp in. Oops, wrong column. What the frig is going on? They're all reacting the same. I've got something in every column. How can it be reacting the same now? This is broke though, this average. P35 times 0.4. P36. I'm super confused, chat. I found our problem though. I have found a problem. This is wrong.
What are you trying to do?
Fix my spreadsheet, it's broke. This is very wrong.
Why do you get the scientist spreadsheet?
I've always used my own. P34. Okay, so P34 Z22. Z22. So it picks up that one. So then this should be Z25, I think. Z25. Nope.
You think? Love it. You get it.
I'm dying for a piss. I'm gonna go for a piss. Nope.
Yeah, that'll be clouding you.
I'm gonna go for a
yourself.
piss. It's clouding me judgment, chat. Give me a second. I can't concentrate. Oh no.
You pissed yourself.
Right. Oh, we got $9.99. Thank you so much for the Grim Bastard with the $9.99. Spreading some holiday cheer. Keep on being one of my go-tos for everything division. Thank you so much for the super chat, mate. I really appreciate it. Hello, Gecko. How you doing, my man? Right. I'm gonna come out to this one for a second because we know we've got problems in this one here, don't we? Right. So I'm gonna make a copy of this one because I fixed the problem by accident and I don't want to know how something is fixed by accident, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna mess around in this one now, this copy. Hang on. That's wrong. That's wrong.
Is it wrong?
It's just the way it looks. Look, this is different.
Well, yeah, that's
Maybe I found the problem already.
a dot writing.
So if you look, there's no comma in any of this. There's a comma in this one. Why is there a comma in this one?
No, the real question I have is why in all other lines is there no comma, although at the end you have commas in every single number.
Why has it done something weird there? Did I do something weird? Oh, I did.
So. Yeah.
I'm gonna stop. Okay.
I'm surprised the
Let's
rest
not. Let's undo that
messed out.
before we mess about. Oh, hang on. I don't think I can hear you guys. I think I tripped over my headphones and pulled them out the socket.
Probably.
Can't hear anything.
Hashtag pro streamer.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello, I can hear you. Okay, cool. Right. So, before I mess around, this is all... There's the strikers one. We know this cell's good. So if we put 1.30 in there, that's the same in all of them now.
Thank you, Cass.
What did oh, it's Cassie. Hello, Cass. 97, 1.97, 1.97, 0.98, 0, 0, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 9, 0.9, 999, 333, 59.5, 59.5, 59.5. Okay. So what this is where we've got multiple issues here. There's multiple issues. So you can see here this one reads at 451. But then that reads at these three read at 347.
Yes.
So we've got multiple issues that we need to fix. There's definitely yeah, okay. So what I want to do now then is so that's all 0.5, that's all 0.5. Then 0.3, so then this is 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. So then that's now the same everywhere. 0. That should be 0.98. 0.98. 0.98. DTOC is 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0 and 0. 0.12. So we've not fixed the issue that now like we did in the old sheet, which is perfect. And then 0.3 all the way up. That's fine. And then, oh, hang on. Don't tell me that's been it all along. Oh my God, chat. Oh my God. Oh, the arm patch code. Is there a mod that can paste the arm patch codes in and tag them on the top of the stream, please?
Working on it.
Oh, thank you. Give us 1 second. Chat, I made a boo-boo. I made a boo-boo. Thank you so much, guys. I made a boo-boo, but we've found the boo-boo. We found the boo-boo, so that's okay, but they all should read out the same now, which they do, so that's fine. So we fixed that, but there is one other boo-boo, I think. 978, 978, 978. See, this is why it's worth messing around in another sheet and then fix it in the main sheet. So they all say 100 all the way down now. This one doesn't. So there's a problem here still. So now our damage numbers match up. Our damage numbers match up in here as well. But this is wrong. This is wrong. Sorry, I'm missing chat. Am I missing chat? I feel like I'm missing chat. I'm sorry.
Oh, Gustavo's on it.
Oh, thank you, thank you. Right, I need to push that out a little bit. Give us 1 second, chat. I'll be right with you. That's good now. So this bottom line is giving us exactly what we expected, apart from here. So why is that damage so much lower than what it should be? It's not doing the calculation as expected. If I go to this one, so 035, which is the actual cell, divided by 60 times by Q34 Z21. Oh, I bet that's it. I bet that's it. I bet that's the problem. And Z22. So if I go here, is that Z21 by any chance? It is. That's Z22. Bet I know what the problem is. This should be Z2425. And it's not. There we go. 24 and Z25. And just like that, it matches up. And then this one here, nearly there, is that's Z13 and Z18. So what's Z13? Z13 is critical hit chance. Z14, Z19, Z14, Z19. Z13, Z18, Z13, Z18. This is Z21 and Z22. Is that Z21 and Z22? Okay, that's fine. Z21, Z22. Z21, Z22. Alright, okay, I get it. Z24, 25. Z24. And then Z25. Gives us the same number. It gives us the same number. Corker Kim, thank you for the follow, and Crazy 23 minutes ago, thank you for the follow. We're nearly there, chat. We got exactly the same DPS number now. Exactly the same. Yeah, sometimes you have to use a private browser. That's what there must be some kind of cookie issue with the website that happens. Right, so then the only thing that is wrong now is these here, because this one should match up exactly to the Strikers one. This one here, and it doesn't do. So that's what? P equals P27. What's P27? P27 is the row that it's in, divided by P3. P3? Oh, right, all the way up there. Okay, cool. Ah, right, I get it. And does this do by P3 too? This one, sorry. By P3, yeah. This one does that one divided by... Yeah, okay, I get it. That one does that. That one does that. That one is not doing P3, it's doing P7. That should be P3, and then that should give me the exact same number. It does. And I bet you any money that one's P4, right? This one's P4. It is. And I bet you that's not P4, it's P8. So that's wrong. So now that's right. And then this. We do. So then if we go to the strikers one, because that is not right either. MK46 strikers overdogs. So 18. Oh, that's perfect. That is right actually. But this one's wrong. So that's dividing that one by the top. Dividing that one by the top. And shock, it's not dividing that one by the top. It's U3. There we go, chat. Yeah, they've just my arm pad. Oh, can someone put them in YouTube chat, please? And pin them in YouTube chat. Q, you're a mod over there, aren't you?
I am. It's been ages since I was on YouTube, but yeah.
Oh, Gusta's on his way.
See? Why don't you talk immediately with the professional ones?
Thank you, Gusta. They are on the way, Mr. Snake Eyes. Right, we're good, chat. The spreadsheet is now in full working order. We've added it. It took us a while. The game's logged us out. But now we can put the building that we wanted to put in.
But there's still one question remaining.
What's that?
Why are you using commas as separators in your NOPQ columns, but not in the E column?
I've no idea. I've no idea. No idea. Thank you, Gusta. You can pin it too if you want, mate. So then it's there, or I can pin it actually. Pin it. There you go. I pinned it. But I should do something. Right. So we're good now, chat. So the build we wanted to put in, and we need to double check and test, was strikers. Strikers chest. Oh no, it would be strikers backpack. Strikers backpack always 1Q. I don't know where we were going with that. But then, and then it's gonna be strikers knees, and then it's going to be.
Wouldn't it be nice if we had
there we go.
bloodsucker on her chest? I'd like that.
That would be good. I just needed a little bit of clarity, chat. That's what we needed. MK46. Strikers. Chest plus backpack. Plus backpack. And then it's salvo and overdogs. So this would be the one that you could run if you didn't really want to spec into glass cannon and things like that. Are we right? Oh my god, we are right. So then 125,580. We've got no total weapon damage here, but our crit chance is 115. 115. Who came here for gameplay? plus 70 is 185. Headshot damage is 85. No DTA, 12 detox. But we have way higher, right? Striker's chest gives us how many stacks? I can't remember.
200.
Is it really? 200. 200 and it's times 0.9, isn't it, with the backpack?
If you have the backpack, yeah.
Yeah, so 200 times 0.9. That's 180. 180! Okay, that's fine. That's in. $180. Bark. And then we have our gloves. That is a 0. Okay. And not surprising, this is our most powerful build. Not surprising. Not surprising. But we have the disadvantage of stacking. Stacking.
Oh, right, at full stat.
Yes. But,
So we go for lovebirds.
man, I'm going down an absolute rabbit hole that I didn't want to go down here. Because now there's another possibility. There's another combo that might do even more damage. Oh man. There's another combo that might do even more damage.
Which is the normal holster.
No,
UA holster.
it's going Tinkerer with Striker's chest.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, what the frig?
Nice, me too.
Delta. There's another combo in there. Another one-ball combo that might do even more damage. Oh man, I'm not loading back in.
Me neither.
Oh no. Did everyone else get kicked out? Oh, it's going back in now.
I've just started NBA.
Did you get kicked out?
No.
Oh, weird. Yeah, it is weird.
You were already in though, weren't you? And I've only just put my alt account on.
Yeah. So you know what that means, chat? We've got to add another column. It means we've got to add another column to the sheet. Which I think we can do pretty easy now, right? M39 divided by 100 equals M43 divided by 100. This one is M39 42, 43. This should be 43. That's fixed. That looks right. That looks right. And then here, what was the Z24, Z25? Oh yeah. Now we are Z27, Z28. So Z27, Z28. That should fix that one. And then Z27 by Z28. That should fix that one. It does. The DPS is the same. And then this should be by, this is by 3, right? P3, 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 P4, P3. I wonder why it does that. Seems like weird formatting. P3, P4. Alright, so we fixed it. Look at that. Just like that. I added another one in. Oh, this, yeah, because the skills code only came out yesterday, so it might just need adding in. Then this is going to be MK46, strikers, chest, backpack, salvo, tink. And this is, we know this one's going to be the leader. We know, but we have to. We'll put it in anyway. So this is here now. 59 crit chance. Right, okay, so the thing with this one I have to work out a little bit different because I have to add 45% to this here. So that's 130 plus 45. Which is 175. So that's okay now. The test based damage is gonna, that's fine. A total weapon damage here is 0. Critical hit damage is 115 plus 70, which 70 is 185. That's correct. Headshot is 85. No DTA. 12 detox. Same amp because we are running the chest still. We have the overdogs. That's fine. But then we need to work out what our RPM would be. Did I have the salvo in the last build? I did. I did, didn't I? 1063. Yes. Let's not forget the RPM increase in the last build. So this is 1060. So what I need, so this is actually how much RPM of increase is this getting? So it's getting 15 from strikers. It's getting 25 there, and then it gets 45 here, right? And 45 there. So that's 45. The sum of them two together of the is 70. So we get a 70% increase in RPM at the top of our mag. So big, how we doing? I did temporary gecko. It looked amazing, right? So what's the, can I remember what the base damage, the base RPM is? 850. It's 850, isn't it? So 850. 70% of 8 is 595. So it's 595. 595. So 850 plus 595. 850 plus 595. Wowzers. 1445. That's a lot of RPMs. That is a lot of RPMs. Holy shit. Build of the year, chat. Holy shit. We need to check it. We need to check this. The good thing... We can't check... We can check... We can't... We can't... Holy shit.
Can you check it?
I'm having a bit of a... I'm having a stroke. Holy shit.
I'm pretty sure you said that already.
Can you hear my music?
No, sir.
Thank fuck. I don't know what was happening that night when it was fucking...
Whoa. We need to just test this in the range real quick. You do the fancy not, yeah. The fancy non-reload trick's very nice, Alpine. I can't quite get it down. Q, thank you for the bits. So we won't get overdogs in here, but we'll get everything else as long as I proc killer.
He's on the right gun.
Yeah. Too high. But I don't know if killer's procking because of the way around it is. I think I had this problem the other day. I think
So you
sometimes
have to shoot someone on the left and then go back
Right.
to get it.
I can't put killer on this gun. I've got to have it on this gun. I don't know if killer's procking.
Usually does when you skip someone on the left.
Hang on, I can test it. Let me just
Or
check.
the far
Let
right
me just
one.
check the numbers I'm getting at the top end now.
You got sadist.
177. Killer's not procking. Not got sadist. Killer's not procking.
It won't from invulnerable. It'll only prop from something you kill.
I know
Not
that,
down.
Dan. I shot the other side before.
Oh, sorry. My bad.
But I think that it's not procking because I think the Tinkerer has... Does the Tinkerer still have problem with the certain talents being on different guns?
You're not on Tinkerer?
I am.
You're not?
Have I not changed it?
You got Striker Mask on?
Bloody hell, what a dickhead. Pardon me, French chat. I'm a dickhead.
No, that's mean. Dan was only helping.
Thank you, Dan.
I mean, you call me a dickhead. Everyone else
No, I was calling
does.
myself a dickhead, not you. Calling myself a dickhead. What a knobhead, chat.
So what makes you so important to be the dickhead and not me?
No, we're right. No, we're good. No, we're right.
You're not making sense because you said I'm not going to proc overdogs.
No, I don't want overdogs on.
But you mentioned it when you started.
I'm talking shit then.
Oh my god, I'm confused now.
Don't confuse me.
You're confusing me.
Don't confuse me, Dan.
I found what's helping Dan is to listen only to every second word he's saying. That's really helping me.
127 plus 70 is
I told
1.9.
you he was on the wrong fucking gun.
I'm on the right gun. Don't confuse me about the gun now. I'm on the right gun.
No, you're on the right gun now with Tinkerer, but you wasn't with before.
I've not changed my gun. I've just changed the talents around, but I didn't need to. Okay. Right. Let's see what kind of damage we get. Make sure it matches the spreadsheet. I can't even see the damage numbers. It's broke. It's too fast. I don't think I'm getting killer.
Because you're not killing out.
Just shot to the left. Did you not see?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Killer's
If
never.
you shoot to the left, you
Killer-
get killer there.
Killer's never procking, even though it's on my. I'm logging in and out. I feel like it's bugged. I feel like it's bugged. I feel like you should always get the primary icon, right, with Tinkerer, not the secondary icon.
I'm not sure. It's been a bit dodgy to me. Like,
Yeah.
I think it always shows frenzy. If I remember correct on my frenzy killer build.
Is it really? Oh yeah, it doesn't show. It's not showing killer at all. Right, let's let it die off. Let's let killer. The problem's going to be is the stacks. So right now, 505 ish. I've got no killer there now, right? When I kill him, I it for 400 and something. I've got killer active there. Killer is definitely active then. Yeah, killer's definitely active. I just wait now. How long's killer last for?
10 seconds.
10 seconds. One Mississippi, two Mississippi. Do it on
I
that.
don't know about bills, man. I just fucking put shit together. 10 seconds, yeah.
Killer's definitely gone now, right? And if you're lucky, you know, we hit this 422 crit. 442 crit. Give or take getting a striker's stack. 438, right? Give or take a striker's stack. We killed it. 438. We've not got killer, I don't think, no. Yep, still the same. Killed him. 438, not got killer. Have we just been really unlucky and not got killer twice? There we go. We've got killer now. We're at the 500s. 537. We've got the killer increase. 537. Yeah. All right. So killer works. It just doesn't show up as it ever shows up as the icon with Tinkerer. Even though it's there. So let's just make sure these damage numbers match up now in the spreadsheet for this build.
I wonder whether if you say for instance, like you had killer and opportunist, whatever fucking hell it is on the gun. I wonder whether it should, like do you keep flipping which one shows and which one doesn't?
I don't think it does.
I think killers.
I killed a whole bunch of them just in case. 1465 was what we saw at the top. That is not the number I am expecting. One 157. Oh, there we go. 17, yeah, that's right. 1764 was the number I got at the top. Yeah, all right. We're just missing killer. All right, so we're good. We're good. We got the numbers we're expecting. So, as of right now, as expected, our biggest damage build by far, is what we've got on now. Like, by far.
Because the numbers are a bit lower, but is that because you got the RPM as well?
By far. But what did we do before? All right, okay. Frenzy Killer. We did Lengmore, Unstoppable Force. We did Perfect Glass Cannon before, didn't we? We did yeah, okay, cool.
I think you can only get the mask from the
master mission. Yeah. So that by far does like an insane amount of damage. But obviously you've got to deal with striker stacks. Like you've got to deal with striker stacks to be able. So we're talking master and legendary build only at this point. But it outperforms massively. Essentially, you're doing so much damage with this in like a master mission. Right, so that's fine. So that's good. So then now we've got Corco to put in, and that's it. I think at that point.
Everyone keeps going on about this Coco, man. I don't know what they're on about.
Did we? And let me just double check. Strikers perfect glass. Did we do Strikers perfect glass cannon?
With the LMG, no. With the AR last time, yes.
Okay, so that's where we're up to. So now Tickle has the biggest crit out there. Yes, I do. Right, so then that's
Like a big crit.
we need to put Strikers perfect glass cannon on, because then that goes back to comparing. If you can even remember where we're up to, that goes back to comparing to the other builds. If you can even remember. Strikers perfect glass cannon over dogs. That was this one. That works out fine. Okay, cool. So let me check the damage number. 125580. That's correct. That's good. We have no total weapon damage for this build. Crit is 197, which I think is right. Yep, it is. Headshot 98%, no DTA. Damage target recover, yep, that's fine. 90. The overdogs, the 59 points. Oh yeah, that we might have done that then because it's what it's in. It's fine. Yep, so that's good. So now we need to put Coco in. So Coco's an easy switch. We just switch in the Coco pieces.
Just love Coco.
I think that the master mission exotics will end up always staying in the master missions now. I don't think they'll ever put them in the loot pool. It seems to be the new thing that they do now.
Oh, I wouldn't say never. Look at the fucking raid shit.
But I think, yeah. Right, so that should be fine now. Yep, it is. Right, so I need to remind myself what we get from Coco. So, Coco, I believe, adds to my all weapon damage. We get 10% here as well. CJ, probably not. But this is why I like to make sure I'm giving you the facts. Like when I make my videos, I like to have some, fact behind it. Like, we were talking about this earlier on, where the moment, throughout various things, Ninja Bike backpack seems to be a very popular piece, when ultimately it can lose you like 40-50% extra damage from your build. But they don't tell you that. No,
but you gotta look at the bigger picture though. They might be getting the second stat bonuses, etc.
Yeah, but then that's still that's what I account for that. But what I was saying before is,
like
as long as long as your build is fun and you enjoy using it and it gets you through what you want to do, that's fine as well. Someone might like extra sustain in the build, it might work for them, and that's also fine. But then when they're trying to do an incursion with randoms and they're like, why have I not got enough damage? I want them to be aware that they've got a change that they can make that will make them significantly better. And I feel like sometimes they don't get that from some videos online, like, you know what I mean? So if I provide a video with the facts on a spreadsheet and say, listen, this is the build, this is how you put it together, someone then can take that knowing it's the best damage they can possibly do. But then they can go, oh, do you know what? I want to put a blue in it. Do you know what? I want to change this talent. Do you know what? I want to change this chest. That's why I put the equalizer in some of the builds, so you can see that, I don't like running glass cannon, so I'll run the equalizer instead. And, that's why I put the other ones in, so that people can kind of bring them down a little bit to where they feel like it's, it's good for them. Like,
the equalizer.
There's stuff you can start inferring too. So you test it with the overdogs, without. If I want more survivability and I put in a nimble holster, for example,
exactly.
What am I expecting to lose compared to the maximum build you have, which probably is still better than running Ninja Bike on a striker.
Yeah.
But Yeah, no, just saying you can infer things even without, because you see where different stuff is leveling in, which single piece is more effective in
Yeah.
a build
Yeah.
overall.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I might have to do a little bit of explanation.
If you're doing X content,
5%.
is it gonna do the content? If it doesn't, you need to change.
Receive 3%
Yeah,
weapon
exactly.
damage. 35. So I get 35 stacks of weapon damage at 5%. So 35 times by 5. So I get so it gives me 175% weapon damage. That's a lot. So I've got 325. So if I do 325, take away 175, that should give me 150. It does. I'm going to put 1.50 in there and just check that that lines up with what we've got. 1313. No, it does not. Ooh. Oh, hang on. Minor. No. There's some.
You know what I would pay money for, actually?
What's that?
To have you co-stream with Inigo and IKEA live, because you two would make things overly complicated, never leave the weapon range, and be talking about stuff that's not even relevant in the last half hour, and IKEA would just be sitting there shaking his head and thinking, what am I gotten into here?
No one would see any gameplay at all. If you put me and Ego and IKEA into a core stream, it'd just be spreadsheets. There'd be no gameplay and hours of talking.
Lucky, you would see the shooting range once in a while.
That would be funny, actually. That would be funny. Right, so it's so it's 140 here.
Like the way IKEA does it sometimes. So
I
he'll
do.
be there for like an hour and a half, and then he'll go out and do some open world or bounties or.
Right.
Oh yeah, he's streaming a lot of gameplay.
Yeah, he does a lot.
35 times 5.
And you know why? Because he's efficient with his spreadsheet. He knows how to handle it.
140 plus 175. 140 plus 175. 315. Okay, that's good. We get no total weapon damage from any of our other talents. That's good. Critical. Do we get critical hit damage? Does this give as well? It does. 2 times 35. So it gives us 70% critical hit damage on top of 70% from killer. And 127, what we've got jacked in. So 127 plus 70 is 267. 67.
Did a load of bounces with IKEA one day. It was beautiful.
30 amp and 30 amp. Yep, no, it's 59.5. Okay, we've got Coco plumbed in now. So Coco is plumbed in. So Coco comes in under strikers by 13-ish%. By about 13%. By about 13%.
What does Coco do?
You mark targets and you get weapon and crit damage as they die.
You or your team?
Both, yeah, and skills and companions. All right, last build to plumb in, chat. Last build to plumb in. Last build to plumb in. Which was Equalizer. Oh, hang on, did we do this one already? No, we didn't. Strikers. 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 Strikers over dogs. That's nego. Strikers. This was the build I recommended right at the beginning.
What's tipping like? I like tipping scales.
Tipping scales is good, and is actually the most powerful of all of them. Oh no, it's not. Tipping scales comes in really well, 10%.
It'll still do the content. That's what I'm saying.
Within 10% of strikers. Strikers is better still. But I mean, so like, what's that one? Equalizer, striker, over dog. Yeah, okay. I mean, there's just so many. We have so many like variants. It's wild. Like, yeah, like I've increased this spreadsheet by 2, but we could increase it by 100-fold. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Alpine Light's running the what's the holster called? Where you can switch and you get RPMs
Centurion.
and Centurion holster and stuff and things like that. Like, we've not even looked at stuff like that. Like, you know. So there's like a whole other.
You know, at this point, I think you should on purpose test a few worse builds or put them in there just to make it complete, just to see how much percent we lose on Ninja Bike.
Not putting a Ninja Bike in.
Yeah, on purpose.
Yeah, would do.
I mean, because that's the point you're making. You're making the point that basically everything is pretty powerful in comparison to Ninja Bike.
Okay, we can do that. We might as well, right? We might as well. You're right.
Well, I don't know, to make it not so obvious, put in the Hasbro striker from last season, for example.
We should do that. We should put, yeah. Okay.
Because it's still popular with the hazard protection we get this season. Some people are running it again.
Oh, with the yeah, okay, yeah.
Just to have it in there, because it's popular. It's probably not exactly as good, but yeah, it will still be better than Ninja Bike.
12, 5, 80, so that's fine. So there we get 24% weapon damage from the chest piece. Critical hit damage is 127, but we get 70. 127 plus 70 is 197. That's fine. Headshot is 85. Damage to target out of cover, we get 12. We get 90 amp. We get 30 amp. Crit is 59.5. We're 1020 RPMs on this. Yes, we are. Yep, okay, that's fine. And this one comes in, I mean, this one comes in really good, like really, really good. This one beats Perfect Glass Cannon Coco Overdogs. So like, I just don't understand why you would ever run that. Like this one right now is definitely just like the best all round. Unless you want to do some insane damage with the Tinkerer. Right, okay. And then for giggles, which build do we put the Ninja Bike on?
I would do, because the point is, we know that the Ninja Bike in any kind of green gear set is going to be worse. So I would do a striker with Ninja Bike, and I would do a tipping scale or Coco, whatever you want, just to showcase 2 green sets with Ninja Bike and how it's behaving.
The problem,
and I would use the most powerful of those.
Yeah, that's a good point. So we wouldn't run that because we're going to get assault rifle damage. We would run strikers there. What does 2-piece weapon handling?
Which isn't good.
Which isn't good, but I mean, it's probably the best.
I would do it because, let's be honest, I think most of the people who are running Ninja Bike builds are doing so, if it's striker, are doing it to get the double bonus no, the triple bonus of alloys, United Alloys. So I would do it on the assault rifle sheet.
Oh, I did that. Oh yeah, for an assault rifle, I did that already.
Okay, if it's in there, then for this one, I wouldn't do it on Striker because you're right, it doesn't make much. Or you can do it just to showcase that having weapon handling is a stat that's not going to do you any good.
Yeah, because it's like
because that's the point. If you use Ninja Bike, our argument is always you want as many secondary brand bonuses as you can get to be useful.
Yeah.
If you get useless ones, it's not going to help.
We're just kind of wasting.
With AR. That's a good shout. That.
Yeah, I did that in the other video. I've already done that stat. I already did with the Ninja Bike video. I concentrated on ARs really. Like.
So I really like what you did right there, Contractors and Foxes, because it's those are both potentially best in slots items.
Yeah.
But we're wasting their secondary stats in both cases.
Yes.
Because we wanted to have Ninja Bike in there.
And that's
exactly, yeah, the point.
Yeah, exactly. I think
you could, if you want, maybe do double Langmo. To be fair, to have the LMG damage in there.
Oh yeah, that's actually not a bad shout.
Second stat of Langmo, so yeah.
That's not a bad shout, and I could probably do that fairly easily. I could probably do, and that's probably So I'm actually quite interested all of a sudden what this is gonna pull out like.
I mean, with Langmo, it might be better than on the AR variant.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. I didn't try because it's 10% more, right?
Yeah, but I don't think it was because we get 20% AR on the new unit alloys and it still failed badly. So, I mean, we are getting 30 this time, but we're getting 2 brand set bonuses that are worth 0. Like skill, health, and explosive resistance. Yeah, exactly. So this I don't think this will turn out well. But let's figure out.
I don't think either, but I think it would be nice to see how much worse it is.
Yeah, and why I remember.
And considering that keeping up the 200 stacks, we're using the least viable striker build just to show how much it can output.
Yeah, I agree. Take that out. I can't. Just got to very quickly remember what the changes were that I did. So this should be. We did M47, and that should be M47.
And then I would do the same with tipping scales, just because. But I don't know how you would if you use the chest or not, because I'm not using tipping scales at all.
No, you don't use the chest on tipping scales.
So you would probably go obliterate, make it perfect obliterate just to show. No, don't make it.
Yeah, I might not because I think I'm at a good space on my screen. It's a lot of builds. Yeah, that's why I'm putting Ninja in now, just to go. Yeah, you know what? This is a bad idea. So we fixed that. What was the other one that I had to fix? It was something here, wasn't it? So this needs to be P3. That needs to be P3. No, P4. P3, P4, and then that was fine, but that one needed to be U3. It needs to be U3. That fixes that. And then what did I have to do here? Z27, Z28, Z27, Z28. Is that Z27? 28. So this should be Z30 and 31. Z30 and Z31. Z30 and Z31. And all of a sudden the numbers match. Right, so the numbers match. So let's plumb in the Ninja Bike build that we have created. Look at it. It's a piece of work. Right, so 1.6 is correct here. That's correct. That's correct. Do we have any total weapon damage stats? We do not. Our crit damage is 115 plus 70. How much weaker do you think it is, or stronger, chat? Give me some percentages than the last build that we did. plus
Let's
7.
have a look at the build.
1 second. 185. 1.85. There's the build. Like, do you think that's going to beat out running Equalizer, Overdogs, and 4P Striker?
No.
No, I don't
Never
think
There's
so.
so much being lost here. Overdogs is being lost. That's a huge amount. Striker's backpack being lost. That's like a huge amount. I'm actually pretty scared in how much it loses, to be
the
honest.
striker chest.
But that's exactly the point. That's to show how much you lose by going with Ninja Bike.
Yeah.
And using
I use the
on
ninja bike for
purpose
stuff like
the
getting
best
armor on
performing
kill.
striker variant with using the chest. Just
Yes.
to have on paper the highest possible stats so that no one can complain.
Yep. Did I get the crit chance right? Oh, I got the crit chance and crit damage wrong. We're short. $59.5. So our crit damage is different. It's actually 173.73. And don't forget, we've got to stack this as well to the max stacks. So, yeah. Oops.
Yeah, so it's an on paper build like a lot of the others we did.
46 strikers, chest, Lengmore, ninja, backpack. Alright, so here we go. So it performs a lot like
My little Willie.
17. It performs a lot like whatever this one was. It performs a lot like Coco Perfect Glass Cannon. It performs like Overdogs with tipping scales and Perfect Glass Cannon. So this actually is interesting, right? So it's potentially better than Coco.
On paper, because
On
the
paper,
amount you have to stack is
but you would, yeah, it would only ever be if you were running it in Legendary or Master that you would get anywhere near the damage.
And you have way more damage with Coco Glass Cannon while entering the room. While you're not
Yes,
stacked.
because your instant glass cannon boost is just so much more damage. Although Coco has got its issues with stacking, you can pre-stack as well. So, and it's the same, you know, tipping scales is going to outperform it easily because it can just stack by firing. There's no, and then you got perfect glass cannon again in there. So on paper it looks okay, but like even if you went all the way down to the high end builds that we ran at the beginning, they're going to be competitive because of the amount of damage they do right off the rip because they've got no stacking involved. You know, like this one here, the Lengmore Unstoppable Force Perfect Glass Cannon Salvo Overdogs. That's going to easily outperform it, even though it says on paper it does 20% less damage because there's no stacking. You are hitting straight off the rip, you know. So it just shows that it can be a little bit deceiving on paper, but the true reality of it is that running Ninja Bike in anything is bad. Is bad. Right, I think that's it. I think that's enough to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That was 12 builds we did in total. I think we added four lines to the spreadsheet. The spreadsheet has grown. Again, it used to be 4 lines, the spreadsheet. It's now 12. That is a lot. When is the link? It goes live on Tuesday. So I guess we'll have a maintenance though, so I wouldn't set your alarm clocks for them to bring it into the boo. So Faye, how are we doing?
What are we getting on Tuesday?
Winter event.
Is it going to be snowing?
It's gonna be. It looks like it's snowing in the boo on the trailer.
Yeah, that's crap, that. I want proper snow, man.
But obviously it's a nice touch. It's a nice touch.
Oh yeah, I'll be made up with a bit of
Here we are.
glitz in there.
They've definitely added the snowy weather.
What would be nice if, do you know, I was gutted, you know, when the snow thing for survivors. I thought I'd love to see that in action, like the fucking chainsaw guy, man. It's fucking freaky as fuck.
December
It's
the
like-
16th, all the way. It's not on for very long, but yeah, very
What's
cool.
the,
Very.
what's that
What?
film where it's like Santa
What's up, DK?
slicing people up or something?
Oh no,
Is
I've
that
never
crap?
seen. I've never seen it. But rumor has it, chat. There are potentially 2 uniforms coming.
Potentially.
Yes.
Is
So
that NDA?
So obvious. No, it's not NDA. It's just rumorville around the community.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So obviously one of them will be the Krampus, just like when we had the Houndsman. We got his. Essentially, you can imagine we're going to get that one, but then there's obviously one other one that that we don't know about yet. Well, one of them will be free and one will be paid, I guess. So, but I guess they'll be the store. Will be, the store is going to be rammed on Tuesday because it's complete store refresh day. I think if we look, so it's a busy store day. I think on Tuesday.
But nah.
So Woodsman Bundle's going to be in there for a while yet anyway, and I wouldn't be surprised if they extend that. But we're losing the BTSU Blizzard Bundle. We're still going to keep Permafrost. And we're still going to keep Corporate. But it'll be a busy store day because I feel like they'll add Christmas Premium on Tuesday. So I find it hard to think that there won't be a lot. There won't be at least 2. I think there'll be at least 2 premiums. A Hollow Kid, yeah, Imminence Armaments pistol builds are pretty good with a Ninja Bike. That works. There's also some skill builds that work okay with a Ninja Bike, and there's also some sniper builds as well. When we're talking about one-shotting and things like that, although sniper builds not so much anymore because of the new sets that we got. But yeah, there definitely is scope for it in that scenario. My biggest
utility builds, you can get a lot of hazard protection with Ninja
yeah,
Bike and
Hasbro,
still
yeah,
keep DPS or tanking or whatever.
I think that the biggest problem is when you see people building it with like as a full DPS build, and it just never has had the stats to be a full DPS build piece. Like it just hasn't, you know.
Or a real advantage to a gear set.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, the second the extra bonuses we get. Unless you get to like well, we just proved it with Lengmo, it doesn't work. But with Imminence Armaments in a pistol build, it kind of does, because the other pieces that were alongside that, it works.
Mean, with green gear sets, since you only have one secondary attribute, you lose way too much by pairing it with a Ninja Bike.
Yeah, if you're going all yellow, then
so much.
It's pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty good. This video is going to take me.
Cavalier, if you're going Hasbro, might be the one-piece Cavalier might be a.
Yeah, for the Hasbro. This video is going to take me ages to record. I might record it tomorrow, chat. Or do I record it now? I need to release something tomorrow. I probably should record it now, shouldn't I?
Longest video ever.
It's going to be a long video. So I'm going to need to pause and change the builds in between. It's going to be a long ass video. I was meant to be playing Survival tonight.
Can't you cut out the builds from the Twitch VOD?
Probably easier for me just to change them on the fly.
Okay, fair.
Just record a bit, pause, record, pause, record, pause. It's probably easier, I think. Probably easier. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna mute myself. I'm gonna do it. If I don't do it now, I'll never do it.
Exactly.
I'm putting it off, and I need to release it tomorrow. So if I don't do it now, I'll end up not doing it, and then I've got to do it in the morning, and then there's football on tomorrow. We'll take a screenshot because that's what we'll use in the video. We'll put this one over here so I can see the builds. I will mute myself because I can draw on the builds this way. So the first build is MK46 Lengmore, that was based on Lengmore, glass cannon, unstoppable force. So these two pieces, Lengmore chest. Walker Harris. Foxes and contractors. Yeah, this was it. And then easy claps, build in a crit damage mod. Crit damage mod. Okay. Okay, that was our first build. Alright, here we go. Have I got the spreadsheet open? Yep, alright, here we go. If anyone does anything why like follows or anything, please thank them because the alerts won't show up why I'm in this this scene. What's up, agents, and welcome back to another Division video. Well, this video has been a week in the making. It's taken so much time to put together, so don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe. Let's talk about the new unit alloys set, LMG builds and a whole bunch of options that you have around it. This is the spreadsheet that it turned into. It went from a 4-piece spreadsheet to an 8-piece to a 12-piece by the time we got to the end. And if you understand the stats, you can pause it right here and get the results. But I am going to run through it and we're going to talk about some variables that we considered when I was talking to my chat. Now, there's a couple of things that we need to think about here. One is how long it takes us to get to max stacks. We know that running a striker's chest piece, it takes a little while. And if you're running anything heroic or lower, it's probably not worth it because you'll run around at half stacks and you won't maximize your damage. But that being said, if you're running legendary or master, running a striker's chest piece just makes sense. Then when it comes to high-end builds, most of them have instant damage. So for instance, I'm talking glass cannon. It doesn't even take that long to build obliterate up, but you know, we're looking at vigilance, we're looking at unstoppable force. Again, doesn't take that long to build that kind of damage up in comparison to a striker's chest. We've got tipping scales, we've got the new concentrated company, which we've nicknamed Coco. They all take a while to stack up. Tipping scales isn't so bad. But then there's also taking a look at Tinkerer and how much burst DPS that we can bring into builds, which we had a build that did a crazy amount of damage. It was like 230% more than this build that I'm showing you in just a moment because it does so much burst DPS. So take that into account. I did throw a Ninja Bike build in the bottom. Again, not for any hate, just the fact that I want to show that doing a Ninja Bike build might not necessarily be suitable for the content that you are running, because it does take away a lot of damage bonuses and doesn't really have any advantages when it comes to sets. Because if you look at a brand set, yes, okay, it could work out sometimes pretty good because it has an extra bonus that it can unlock. But when it comes to a gear set, you can lose out quite badly in this case. And it's obviously fine if it is working for the content that you are doing, but I don't want you to struggle if you go into an incursion or into a raid or something that might be a little bit more difficult and then wonder why you're lacking damage because you've got something like the Ninja Bike on. It does have a place in some builds. I'm looking at pistol builds, skill builds, Hasbro builds and things like that, where it does let you unlock bonuses to get to where you need to. But when it comes to a fully fledged DPS build, it can really suffer. So this is what we're going to start off with. Now, the advantage here is that it has pretty much instant damage, give or take unstoppable force, which is going to take a little bit of build up. But again, you're doing a lot of damage. You're going to be getting them kills. And this will breeze through any content in the game. It will breeze through legendary, but you are going to have to be aware of that perfect glass, well, not perfect glass cannon, but regular glass cannon. We get 30% LMG damage from the Lengmore bonus. And this kind of build, because it pumps up weapon damage so high, if you're thinking about using something like the Pestilence, those ticks will be a lot of damage, because the more weapon damage that you have, the more damage that Pestilence ticks does. But for this example, we're going to use my MK46, one of the best burst LMGs in the game, and we're going to use Killer for all the examples. There is something I'm going to talk to you about a little bit later on, but we'll leave that just for now. The stats we're looking at are 59.5 with this and 151% crit damage. I'm not going to go through each of the builds, that will be here too long, but really this is more of a study of what builds perform well and were. So that's our baseline that you can see here up at the top, and you can see the numbers that you're kind of going to get. So 1.3 million on a head crit, and this is the build that we base all of our damage numbers off moving forward. So next we're going to give ourselves a 5% upgrade, so let's move on to that build. By the way, chat, or Q and Dan that are in here, let me know in the chat if you feel like I miss a valid or an important point, or you feel like I'm skipped over something that I need to get in there. Just let me know. Just type it in the chat. I can see the chat. All right, so let's flip this build over. So it was glass cannon, foxes, okay, salvo. This was literally just putting salvo into the build. MK46 Langmore, foxes, contractors, salvo. This is a comparison of a lot of LMG builds and where you might lose and gain damage quite rapidly. And essentially we'll get to the kind of the top builds of what you can run and for what content essentially. But it started off as a, do you want to run the new unit alloys with your LMGs or not? And then it turned into a more well, yeah, it turned into a bit more of a what's what, essentially. Okay, so this was build number 2. I'm going to put crit chance on. Alright, so MK46, Lenmore, Foxes, Contractors, Salvo, 3-piece Lenmore. Alright, cool. So, oh, good spot, Hollow Kid. Yes, definitely the Lenmore mass, so we unlock the 30% LMG damage on this build. Okay. Okay, so next up was this build, because the original viability of this video was talking about how we could fit unit alloys in and would it actually give us bonuses like it does with assault rifle builds, which check out my previous videos. I'll link them down below because we talked about that in quite some detail because of the 20% assault rifle damage that is pretty generous here with the 2-piece bonus. So essentially here, keeping with the theme that 3-piece Langmore is really good because of the 30% weapon damage bonus. Foxes and Contractors have been best in slot for a long time, but we are adding the Salvo in now for 5% rate of fire bonus here and 5% rate of fire bonus down here. Quick look at the stats are 59.5 crit chance, 139% crit damage, and again, like I said, we'll always be using the MK46 with Killer. You can see my MK46 also has crit chance rolled on. So if we flip over to this build now, that actually gives us what you can see here is 5.2% average extra damage. And although the damage numbers will look less, the extra rate of fire gives us that extra 5% burst damage. So this will be a build that you will kill things quicker, even though you are going to be looking like you've got a reduction in DPS. So again, let's move on to another build that is going to increase our damage. Awesome. Right, so next build up was MK46, Langmore, Unstoppable Force, Perfect Glass Cannon now. So Perfect Glass Cannon, Salvo, Overdogs. We must have dropped out. Oh. So MK46, Langmore. And rip me. What just happened then? Everything went off. Weird, but didn't go off for you guys. Right, so MK46, Langmore, Unstoppable Force, Equalizer. No, Perfect Glass Cannon. Salvo. Overdogs. Okay. So Langmore needs that. That's the next build. We're over on crit chance, but that's fine. We're still over on crit chance. No, we're not. Perfect. Alright, this is the next build. MK46, Langmore, Unstoppable Force, Perfect Glass Cannon, Salvo, Overdogs. Yes, perfect. Okay, so this is our next build that really does step up the damage, but still with that high-end focus of instant damage. You can see we've got 3 Langmore on, still running the Perfect Unstoppable Force, but we've brought in Perfect Glass Cannon, and we've also brought in the Overdogs. You can see we still have the Salvo for the rate of fire bonus. We know that's very, very good. And the stats for this are 59.5 crit chance, with 163 crit damage as well, which is really, really good. With any of these builds, what I would recommend is you can tone them down in some ways if you don't want to run Perfect Glass Cannon. And I will show some examples of that a little bit later on, of builds that might be more friendly for people that don't want to be as squishy and where you can kind of run them in heroics and things like that. So don't worry, that information is coming as well. So if we flip back over to the spreadsheet, you can see here, this gives us a quite a big boost of almost 23%. You can see here that, again, the damage number will be bigger on this one, but the rate of fire is also bigger. So great all round, essentially. So you can see that we're just going to do more damage all around. And this is probably the go-to build for very fast, quick, high-end damage. So now we're going to take a few changes here and we're going to tone it down a little bit. And we're going to bring in essentially the new Equalizer chess piece. And the reason we're going to bring that in is because we're going to feel a little bit safer when not running Perfect Glass Cannon. Alright, cool. So the next one is your J-Mac. So the next one is MK46, Langmore, Unstoppable Force, Equalizer, Overdogs, Foxes. And then this one has to be Langmore. Okay, cool. Perfect, perfect. Already great. We've got a mod missing. Perfect. Like a charm already. Okay, so as you can see here, we changed a few things around. We don't stick with the Salvo now anymore because the 2-piece would be a huge waste because we get 20% assault rifle damage. So to make up for that now, we get to have their Fox's Pro back in with damage target out of cover. And then we have our 3-piece Langmore still for the 30% LMG damage. Keeping the Overdogs because they give us a huge buff. And the stats look like 59.5 crit chance and 163 crit damage. Very, very similar, in fact, to the stats that we just had, minus Perfect Glass Cannon. And as you can see here, it takes a 12% drop in damage. Now, that's not terrible if you ask me, because this is doing a lot of damage, but you're removing the Perfect Glass Cannon issue, that incoming damage. So if you wanted to take this build now as a build that does a lot of damage up front in heroics, challenging, it'll absolutely murder things because it does so much damage right off the rip. this is going to be a really good build to do without that risk of that incoming damage from perfect glass cannon. And don't worry, you could build some blues into this as well if you really wanted to, if you wanted to be that little bit more tanky. With all that said though, now let's start moving on to some really, really big high-powered burst builds. Alright, cool. Let's move on to the next one. So the next one is MK46 Langmore Unstoppable Force Perfect Glass Cannon. Tinkerer. Let's just change that off for a second. Frenzy. So Langmore Unstoppable Force. Perfect Glass Cannon. Tinkerer. Langmore Unstoppable Force. That's fine. Perfect Glass Cannon. We've done that. Tinkerer. That's fine. Okay. So Contractor's Gloves. In there. And then we swap that out for Langmore. Make sure it looks right. Langmore, Langmore, Langmore. Perfect Glass Cannon. That looks perfect now. Yeah, Survive Fest got cancelled. But everything that you've done so far will resume next the next one in January. So don't worry. You've not lost anything. Nope. Nope. Yes. Right, so that looks perfect now. That looks really good. Okay, so now we're bringing a type of play style that will give us a load of burst DPS. But really, I'm not really... It does depend if you like it, because there's a few caveats to this. So as you can see here, we've got Killer and Frenzy at the top. Frenzy, you have to empty the magazine to get the complete buff. Now, if you wanted to run alternatives to Frenzy, there is quite a lot of them. Killer is a really good one, which we've already got on. But Streamline is good, but you've got to be reliant on not dropping your skills. And Unhinged is brilliant because it's just 18% weapon damage without any worries at all. But because we've got 150 in the magazine, Frenzy gives us 45% weapon damage and 45% rate of fire, which is no slouch at all. But like I said, it is very dependent on you running this playstyle. Again, you could tone this down and I will show you a build afterwards. But as you can see at the moment now, 59.5 crit chance and 163% critical hit damage. If we were taking a look at the spreadsheet, you can see this does step things up by a significant margin over the previous builds. It gets us all the way up to almost 67% extra damage from the first build that we just looked at. And, you know, 50% more off the previous one that we just saw as well. So it's a significant boost in burst DPS. So although the damage numbers look very similar here, the rate of fire is so much more on this build, because you can see here it does 1233 when Frenzy is capped out, meaning you will kill things way quicker. So if we wanted to kind of change it around a little bit, let's do that. Cool, it's working well so far. So then okay, that's that. So next is tipping scale. Tipping scales. Tipping scales. Tipping scales. That is that. Perfect glass cannon. Yep. Works out perfectly already. Works out perfect. That's really good. That's really good already. Gear sets. And we're going to take a look at some gear sets now as well, because the last build that I showed you is just going to be the most high-end damage you're going to be able to do. But don't worry, we're going to get into the Tinkerer again a little bit later when it comes to looking at it with gear sets as well, because there is a build where you will do an absolute insane amount of burst damage. So you can see here with tipping scales, this was kind of going to be the best in slot for tipping scales. Again, you could change the chest piece out for an equalizer if you didn't want to run glass cannon. I'm just showing you the max damage you can possibly do so that you can then tone it down to wherever you feel comfortable. Our stats are 59.5 crit chance, 127% critical hit damage. We are taking the backpack here because we get a significant boost in critical hit damage per stack. We don't need to worry about the chest piece, and we're going to keep overdogs for some crazy damage as well. So let's see how our first set lines up. So this one does less damage than the previous build, than the high ends, but it beats all of the other ones out at 144%. You'll see some much bigger numbers with this when you get to the top end, but remember you do have to take time to stack this thing up. So it's good. It'll do a lot of damage, but again, maybe you've got to consider where you're using this. So if you're finding that you're going into heroic and you're never getting your tipping scales stacks to the max, it's probably not the build for you. If you're going into a run and you are getting it to the top end, then yeah, all right, then keep running it. But you just got to remember that there is no pre-stacking with this. It loses its stacks very, very quickly, but it does do a lot of damage, as we can see. So let's move on to good old strikers, and how does that compare to tipping scales? All right, so next is tipping strikers. One thing that I think it's useful to mention, that I should have mentioned a little bit earlier on when it came to the high-end builds, they have instant damage that is very, very high, which works well for the Pestilence. So if you're using these for Pestilence builds, obviously the Pestilence will work well in a Striker's build, we all know that, but the Langmore builds that have that weapon damage built in, they're going to have ticks that are doing a lot of damage straight away. So let's not forget that. So here is the Striker's build. 59.5 crit chance, 127% critical hit damage. Don't worry, I will include Striker's chest versions in just a moment. I just wanted to really compare like for like with tipping scales, because without having to run the chest piece for the extra stacks, this does compare fairly well. So let's just take a look at this, because we know Strikers is really easy to run. And as you can see, it actually does 11% or nearly 12% more than the previous build. Meaning that for tipping scales in that kind of setup, it's probably not worth it. It's probably easier just to run Strikers and not necessarily have to worry. And it's not even the chest version, so there's not a lot of stacking involved, and it's going to work for a lot of content. And you could quite easily slot in the new Equalizer chest piece into this and probably have a build that you could use for absolutely everything. Now don't worry, that build is coming up. But let's move on to the next one, which is with the brand new Concentrated Company set, and see how that plays out as well. We're rolling, we're rolling. Oh, it fits in perfect. Perfect. Okay. Again, a very easy swap, because we're not really too interested in running the chest piece because it doesn't provide us any extra bonus damage. It might provide us getting stacks a little bit quicker, but we're not too fussed about that. Just remember, with Concentrated Company, you can pre-stack it in the range if you need to. Skills, companions, and other players count towards you getting that damage up as quick as possible. When we come to the stats for this, you can see we've got 59.5% critical hit chance, 127% critical hit damage. This thing adds critical hit damage and weapon damage, and it's a little bit unfair of us for this one to add Killer in, because Killer also adds critical hit damage as well. So we've got kind of bad returns there because we're building the critical hit damage up so high. So I probably wouldn't recommend running Killer with this build. We are going to compare it because that's only fair, because we've used that talent across every other build. But Frenzy would be a better one to put in because it provides you with weapon damage. So if you're going to run Concentrated Company, I would perhaps look at weapon talents that give you weapon damage rather than critical hit damage. So let's just have a look how it lines up. So you can see here that it comes in under Strikers at 141%, basically 14% under Strikers. You can build this up really easily in the range and probably outperform in some sections if you can keep it up in a team. That's what she said. But yeah, in this scenario, again, it's just easier to just run Strikers. And I know that's a boring thing to say, but if you're in a build, or if you're in a build, if you're in a run where you find it hard to build up stacks, you know, you've got to think about that. If you're in a run where, you know, you keeping up your stacks is dead easy, then yeah, okay, you can do that. But you also have the option here as well is to slot in the equalizer chest piece if you don't want to run perfect glass cannon. So let's move on to our next build that is going to include a little bit of a downgrade, but not having to put up with that glass cannon life. All right, next one is Strikers again. Okay. Crit damage mod. I'll do. And that is this one. Now, I know it's boring, I know it's just Strikers, but this is a build that I would absolutely recommend for all content in the game. Heroic and lower will do well with this build. It's really good, and you've not got a lot of downside to it. You can put a couple of blues in if you want to for some extra survivability. You could run, you know, a talent on one of the guns, you know, preservation perhaps as your secondary gun to get yourself some armor back if you really needed to. But this will perform well in all content. So let's take a look how it actually stands up in comparison to everything else. And it's really, really surprising in that it actually does more damage than the Coco build that we were just looking at by a flat 10%, but only comes in under 4% of the previous perfect glass cannon build as well, due to the increase of rate of fire and the increase in perfect obliterate, which is really, really nice. This works well with Pestilence. I use it with Pestilence. I use it with the blue screen. It's brilliant. Absolutely my go-to recommended build for sure. But if you wanted a little bit of an upgrade to this build and you wanted to take it into Legendary or Master, what would that be? Well, let's take a look at this next build where you can see it actually pumps it up to 182%, giving us a 30% damage bonus on what we've got now. Thank you for that, Cobra. It made me think about that while you put that in. All the dogs. Striker's chest and the salvo. And that's all works out good. Great. Brilliant. And that's going to be this build here, actually utilizing the new unit alloys salvo holster, overdog still, but the Striker's chest piece. Now we know that this is not going to be great in challenging, it's not going to be great in hard, and it's not going to be too good in heroic, because you're never really going to get to the top end of them stacks before things start to die, meaning you're going to lose out on damage, especially if you're running it all red like I am here right now. But if you take this into Legendary, if you take this into Master, you are going to do extremely well. You can see here 59.5 crit chance, 115 crit damage. And if we look at the spreadsheet, you can see we get 182%. topping out on every single build that I have shown so far with no glass cannon downside. The only downside being in that you need to run this in hard content so you maximize that extra stack damage. Next up then is our biggest one, a 230% increase with this next one. But it includes the Tinkerer as well. So again, it's very much a playstyle like we talked about earlier on. Let's flip over to that as well. Oh god, I didn't talk about turmoils. Maybe I should mention a quick talk about that at the end. What did we change? Striker's chest, salvo, Tinkerer, 4-piece. That's right, isn't it? And that's going to be this beast of a build. Now, again, I would only recommend this for legendary or for master content, because although you will fire extremely fast to build up stacks, things will die very, very quickly. You can see here we got, oh, I actually got it actually wrong, so we'll make that change live. I thought I just changed it and corrected it. Crit chance there. Let's change this to a crit chance mod. The stats that you should be looking for are 59.5 crit chance, 115 crit damage. Using the Tinkerer, it's using Killer and Frenzy with the salvo for the extra rate of fire. And you can see here when it comes to burst DPS, it absolutely dominates at 230% of the very first build that we showed. It even outperforms the previous build by 52%. So yeah, it's absolutely insane. It's the most burst damage you're going to do out of all of these builds with what I'm showing you right now. But it is very, very case-based scenario, basically. Let's move on to the next build. Chat, 1 second, someone's at my door. I'm back. Right, we need to wrap this up very quickly because I'm at the end. So we did MK46 strikers salvo. So then, oh yeah, the last one was to make an example of ninja, weren't it? So ninja bike backpack. What did we use? Lengmo, didn't we? Lengmo, striker's chest, ninja bike. Then another Lengmo, wasn't it? That was it. And we need the crit chance mod back in. Yeah, it's a very in-depth build that'll be up on the YouTube tomorrow. And then just to kind of show an example with the ninja bike backpack here, we've got 2 Lengmo giving us the 3-piece bonus for the maximum bonus, which is obviously what we want. And we're still going to use the striker's chest piece. We know it gives us a huge amount of damage, probably the most in any chest piece. But we swapped in the ninja bike as well. Now, unfortunately, this doesn't do the damage you think it would. It's not terrible. You can see here it's still 142%. But don't forget that running any of these other builds is going to be better, because it's going to take a long time to get to them maximum stacks with strikers. If at all, you're going to have to run this in master or legendary, and we already know we've got much better options above available. Essentially, you could take this, you know, you could take the high-end Lengmore that's going to do instantaneous damage the minute you hit a bullet without any stacking at all needed, and it's going to beat out this build. So it's just not worth taking that sacrifice. I do want to give a little bit of a shout out, a big shout out to the person in chat. I can't remember who just said it. I think it was Jay Breezy, said about running turmoil knee pads. In some of the builds that we've got that we showed, especially the ones where we've got really high end damage, turmoils are not a bad idea. They will do a lot of damage. So if you can throw them in because you want to, then by all means do it. But just make sure it's the higher build versions that are doing more damage. If I'm going to be honest with you, this is the one that you want to run on a daily basis. You can see it here. It's really good. It does the most damage. There's nothing wrong with running some of the other ones. We've seen they will and do perform. But if you're a newer player or you just want an easy life, this is going to be the way to go. And if you want to change it up just a little bit for legendary or master, you can quite easily make this change here, where if I put the salvo on, obviously I need a mod in there, and then just switch to that. Them two pieces are going to get you a legendary and master build, where you can just kind of swap things around as you like. Again, you could put the turmoils in here if you wanted to, like this. And this one could be the strikers piece. And again, you've got a really, really good master legendary build there that will do some serious work. That's going to be it for the video. Don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe. I hope this was useful. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. And as always, I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Right, chat, I'm very sorry. I've got to dash off. But thank you so much for hanging out. YouTube, I will see you in the next one. I'm just going to have to go. Dan and Q, thank you for hanging out in the chat as always. I'm sorry about the rush, but I have got to go. Please check out the video tomorrow. This video has taken a whole week, so I really would appreciate for you guys to thumbs up it and comment and use the hype if you can. Thanks for everything, chat, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.